welcome again to Banished. And yes, I know I've played this before. What I've wanted to do for a long time is to see how far you can get if you just fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a map. We're just going to give it a very simple name. Very simple. If I can get my keyboard to. Doesn't want to select all that, no worries at all. Fishing Village. It couldn't be more simple. Am I going to leave it with the default seed though? No, I am not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the year, and the month, the day, and heck, I could probably throw the time in there as well. There we go. It's not going to fit the whole time in, so we just add the first part of it. It's in the afternoon, so it's got a 1 at the front for those of you who are picky. I don't really care about the terrain type. I'll go with lake waters. It can be very large, doesn't matter. We're just seeing how far we can get with just a fishing village. That's all good. I'm happy to get going under those conditions. So, this is going to go and generate the whole map. There's no other real rules about it. It's just that the food, for as long as, well, once it becomes a problem, then obviously it's game over. I've reached the point where I can't make fishing work. So that's the rules. Just food comes from fishing, and that will be the end of the story. There won't be any other option for food. So we won't be building farms, won't be building orchards, won't be building anything to do with... we may need to do the milk ones, but let's hold off on that. Right. We are, by the looks of it, very lucky. Landed straight on a lake. So the first thing you do when you start a new Banished game, fire up the speed to 10 times, and then get your map or UI configured how you like it. Map can go over in the top right. Good. Profession list. I like the scrolling profession box. Everybody's a labourer. I'll have a couple of builders. Give them houses. Food production. Step 1. Fishing. Right, let's just minimise that out of the way. The old fishing dock. That's the green area there. How do I want to do this for maximum efficiency? What aren't you liking about your placement, Doc? It's accepted that one, and then cannot be placed, but it can be placed here. Right, excellent. 2 fishing docks, away we go there. So I'm going to assign immediately my best option is also probably to throw down, because I need to think about the ways to get the food, like the quickest way to there, so I might even have to throw down paths, which I know I normally don't do. So why don't I do that this time? Across here like so, maybe down here and across the front I want to. Alright, and then for the fastest and most efficient pathing between the two of them, I am going to go ahead and place... No, not a stockpile. What am I thinking? A stockpile and a storage barn. Need to get this out of the way too, because it's overlays, even if it doesn't look like it does. Done some weird road placement, but I can't make that work like that. Well, not a big deal. That'll be very similar and have the same sort of effect. Alright. Let's get the menus out of the way. Now, for them to be efficient, by them I mean the villagers, I will want to have my housing also close by with roads. How do I want to do that then? Simple. It's fine from there. Is that it? That'll do. If you can see the reds and greens there very well, you're lucky. I don't. Alrighty. That's why I kind of mess around a bit when I'm doing the placement. It's not too obvious to me. So, obviously the game is paused right now because I want to get everything set up before I let them go, because there's other things that we need to get sorted aside from just fishing. One of those things is the log production and then the firewood. So log production is going to be fine. Log production. That'll give us some stone out there, so Forester's Lodge for that. What next? The sawmill for the that's perfect. And I don't want him to go too far. Like, the whole point of this is I think I need to be as efficient as possible since I'm going for a weird goal. Right, so I'm going to put the sawmill there. Normally wouldn't even consider it, but the houses are just here, so I'm going to run my road. Where is the road? There it is. I'm going to run my road all the way down here, just like that. Alright, now I'm going to let my villagers play, and make sure I got my professions ready for as soon as they build the first fishing hut. All good from there. Fishing. Alright, there we go. All 4 people on fishing. Now I'm suspecting that what they're going to be needing is stone, so why don't I just say, hey, get that stone. There's no point in leaving it there. What's the complaint? Reserve of logs is low. Well, that's not entirely unexpected either. If I just tell them to clear out the logs from here, they can do that too. Got a really nice seed, to be honest, with a really nice placement too. I think that's the main river right here. So I've only got to expand a little bit out and I'll be on the main course. I suppose that's another rule I will implement. I can't just buy food off traders. That does seem a bit like it defeats the purpose. I'm going to turn this dock off for now and let them all work on the one dock, and I think, well, it's quite obvious that dock is closer. 1,054 food. Hopefully we can see that keep going. People still without houses down there, so very little stone, but I've told them to collect stone, so hopefully they'll get onto that ASAP. I am going to need leather. So the problem with my only this food thingy is to be able to build tools, to be able to build clothing. I have to have another food source, whether that's milk from cows to get the leather off the cows, or whether it's hunting to get the leather off of these that we just hit a minute ago, these critters. One way or another, I have to. Alright, so I guess if that's the purpose of it, then that's just how it's got to be. I do need the leather, or else we will all have no clothes, and life will be pretty poor. Tools are obviously easy to deal with because, well, you can just make them. Blacksmith. Yeah, that'll work. Blacksmith can go right here. Perfect. No, it was not in fact perfect. Oh, there's the red. That was fine for it. A lot of stone is what we're going to be ending up needing. Reserve of firewood is low. Yeah, I understand that the reserve of firewood is low. Perhaps I shouldn't have gone with a sawmill for the start, but... I have no domesticated animals. Should I go with the milk option? Because that's a lot of leather. That's pretty much guaranteed. Hunting seems to be a bit less guaranteed because they hunt like birds and other things as well. So it's not necessarily always just going to be leather. Whereas you know if you have the domesticated animals thing, it's always going to be just leather. Alright, Wild Shepherd Boy. Why don't we send you out there somewhere? And I'm going to tell everybody else to grab all of this stone. Because that seems to be something... Oh, they're also running out of logs, so that's interesting. Autosave. I've closed my professions list. Alrighty. Food's okay, so that's fine, but I do have to be a bit careful of the old cold thing, because particularly as the clothing situation doesn't improve. I think I threw a shepherd's hut out here. Alright, there we are. Let's just send out 2 foresters for now. Excellent. And there's no school teacher to teach the children. So I guess I'll fix that. Just throw a schoolhouse down here. Alright, we're in need of stone. Just grab all of that stone, please. How's the fishermen going? I mean, they're still ahead to a degree. I don't think they're actually keeping up, but yeah, it certainly looks like we're eating more than we're producing. So, how many villages do I actually have? 3 with 2 builders. There we go. There's the sawmill, so we can finally get started on some firewood. Good, except there's no real logs, but that problem will sort of sort itself out as everything starts to settle down. So the food's going up, so I'm not gonna touch it just yet. I'm not entirely sure what direction it really is going. How about stone? Looks like we're pretty low on stone. We look at these guys. Do they have the mark? They look to have the mark. Yeah. So we're just waiting on villagers to take them out at this point. Okay. So the logs are going up, so that means we're going positive on that. I just need to bring stone into a little bit more control. How about all of that? A little worried about food, so I'm just going to pump another. Run out of workers. Okay. And I'll turn that back on. Alright. We'll see what difference that makes to the food issue. Still absolutely no firewood, but it could well be in a positive balance. It's just not showing. This is okay. The wild shepherd. Oh yeah, that's builders. 95%? You for real, mate? This is a gatherer, but he will only gather the sheep, so it's not like this is breaking any of the rules. He's only going to get domesticated animals. Alright, builder 1 of 4. It's the schoolhouse. That makes sense. Got a free labourer. I'll keep the free labourer there. I won't assign them to fishermen. Because they may be picking up and moving materials around. You can see the wood foresters have already started replanting this whole area, so that's good to see. We have 6 stone, so we've finally made it into a positive balance for that. Got some funky looking trees down here. What is this? Just very nice ground cover. Windows security, you can buzz off for now, thank you. Okay, alright. 18 tools, 10 clothes. How's this going? What I'm waiting to see is that in one of these storage houses, if the wild shepherd gets cracking, we'll see some domesticated sheeps turn up, which will be extraordinarily valuable. That's what we're needing right now. So the animal pen will be this milk pen. I'll throw it down just so that we know that's what we're doing. What are those things floating around? Oh, it's pretty. How's this guy doing? Had any luck yet, mate? No, nothing. We can go to the actual worker. I think. Can we? Yeah, there we go. And then we'll click on this follow button. What are you doing, Mr. Gatherer? Okay. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we have one now? Or not? Because if not, we just burn down the gatherer's hut, the wild shepherd, and build it somewhere else. It just means that there was no domesticated animals to pick up in this particular area. But I'm going to give him some time. Alright, so we've hit our fuel limit for firewood. I don't like that limit, so I'm going to crack it up to 1,000. Fishing. We're on top of food, sort of. I'm going to give that a big old maybe for going okay on the fishing front. Okay, we're going to push another couple of fishermen in there. I have them, I might as well stockpile them, and food is definitely going down. So, food limit is at 5,000, that's probably a half decent limit to leave it at. Stone tools, rough tools. That'll do. We have logs, we have iron ore, sort of. We have some iron as well, but if I just say do that, there we go. Get some tools produced. That's a domesticated animal. There's none there, none there. No domesticated animals, mate. Hasn't found any. Not sure how long I want to let him wait for that either. Normally it comes through fairly quickly, so there's no point in waiting. But you can only have one at a time, so it's not like I can just keep manufacturing them. Can't just dump them all over the place and get all of the domesticated critters straight away. Collect iron ore. Yeah, sure. Collect me all this stuff, please. If anybody finds the time. Got another adult. Name is Teen. I love the names in this game. But the first time a friend of mine's name actually showed up as one of the name options, and we were both like, for real? That actually made it into a names list? So, yep, it did. They went all out. So, 2. What's being built? I might as well assign Teen to be the teacher. No, it's Darrellery. Teen got assigned something else. Well, the good news is that this teacher is educated. In one of my games, my teacher was, I think, 13 years old or something, and uneducated. It's like, I don't know how that school's being run, but I'm pretty sure it's not how anybody expected it to be run. Builder. What are we building? What did I tell them to build that I've forgotten about? This thing. Derp. Of course. Right, well I don't need a builder for that. So we'll pull that out. We're going to have to deal with the population problem. And the population problem isn't the food problem. The population problem is the usual population problem of I have an unfortunate lack of younger people who will come up the pipeline naturally. So you got to kind of force the issue a little by overhousing. That's when you trigger off your food problem, and that's when everything falls in a great big pile most of the time. So it's not a delicate process, but it is a managed process. So by throwing in those houses there, we have a couple of younger people started moving. There we go, we've already got a younger couple in there, and they'll have maybe another 1 or 2 children because the house can support it. Alistan is hopefully going to find himself a partner. Lots of these people are already partnered up. As you can see, this couple has had these children. Not too bad. Need to solve the food problem though, so I suspect I'm going to be back on the fish train. Food production, more food gathering, fishing. What's going on here? Cannot be placed in this location. Oh yeah, there's a hill there. Alright. What can I? I can place it here. Wow. Getting real close to that one. Alright, we'll throw him down here. Where's our roads? Because we do want him to be a speedy boy. Throw a road down to here. Hopefully they use the roads. Could build a storage barn here. For maximum efficiency. Not sure yet. I'll wait up a bit and see how we're going. So we're chewing through the logs faster than we're getting the logs, which is weird. But I did just build a fishing hut, so maybe that's what threw out the delicate balance up there. And this is just something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's not as if I've really sat down and gone, alright, this is the min-max method of doing it. He's not found a single... Yeah, alright. Out of here. He's not found a single domesticated animal in that location. It's not his problem, obviously, but... Got plenty of tools, but we are going to run out of clothes. So I need the domesticated animals for that. Also going to need stone. I don't really want to go to the extent of throwing down a quarry just yet. Here's a lot of stone over here. I might just bite the bullet and tell them, "Oi, lots of stone over here, go get it." And let them figure it out. Stockpiles here. It's not actually that much of a distance for them, really. Got a child born. Got some students. Okay. I'm not seeing them complain about food, because what I do is I just play the game with my eyes shut, and it solves all those problems. What's going on? Have you already got 1,000? No. What's the problem? Materials required are not available. Okay. Do we have no foresters or something? Ah, of course, that's not going to work, is it? Telling them to build stuff and having no builders. Got a blacksmith who's done well for himself. He's actually hit his cap, so I'm going to unassign him. Don't need him right now. And I can just leave it as a labourer, is what I'm going to do. I could throw them at buildings so that everything progresses a little bit quicker, but I'm probably better off throwing them at a forester. So I'm going to do it, just because I think that's a smart idea. Got a house here. What's going to happen? There we go. Got 2 people moved in together. Don't think too hard about that, but yeah. Alright. That'll get destroyed. Now I can have another... I'll just place it, like, way out somewhere. Like, somewhere out here. And then hopefully that will spark it to find some domesticated critters. Apologies for the sound. It's going to disappear for just a moment. I do need just make sure that everything is still working. I don't know why that's still working, but I'm glad for it. No food. That sounds like a real problem. A real problem. Well, if the builders would get a hurry on, you'd have your food, but I'm afraid they've decided that food is not their priority. Alright, is that stone? Yeah, got a lot of stone, which is good. Why don't we just cut down some trees over here too, just to sort of bring in the balance a little bit. It's not good that they're running out of food. Obviously, right? Like, I mean, rocket science and all of that, but... How much are we producing per season? About 900 food, and you're producing 950 food. Is the distance the indicator? If the distance is the indicator, then what is that? It's not a bad productivity bonus I would get for putting another storage barn in here. The reserve of logs is low. Yeah, that's okay though. The villagers are going to sort that out. The problem is food. Do we have any builders? Did somebody die? Ah! A child died of starvation. Always good to see. Love to see it. Love to see it. That's what we play this game for. Oh no, now a student's died of starvation. Oh, now we've got the builder dying of starvation. Absolute shame. What a shame. Doll the woodcutter died of starvation. Oh, I'm sorry, Doll. Whoopsie, Burley the child has died of starvation. Whoops, whoops. Glenny the child has died of starvation. The children are just dropping like flies. It's a real shame. A real crying shame. It's going well. It's going well. How's your day? Everything's going fine over here. The Office of Births, Deaths and Marriages is absolutely running their feet off. But aside from them, everybody else is just tracking along. Okay, so a weird bug in this game, and I don't know if it's a bug or if it's like deliberately programmed this way. When your people get hungry, they can go off their... Okay, you need to be really clear. They can go off whatever their job is and go and start gathering, like the actual herbs and stuff, like if they had a gatherer's hut to gather for. So you can have these silly situations like what we're seeing down here, where a fisherman will stop fishing, go gather stuff in the forest, when there's literally food sitting here to be taken in. And he'll be off in the forest, starving. It's, I would consider that a bug, but I would be tolerant of the concept of a design choice. I can turn this around. It's not the end of the world. Probably. There is still no food though. It's a bit awkward. I'm expecting to see another couple of people die. Yep. Yep. Now they've decided to go and put the food... Sorry, I'm confused. What are you doing? Oh, they're taking the food directly to the house. Okay, now I understand what's going on. Let me just do a little... Wow. Wow. Look at this. Look at this, how this worked out. Anybody who wasn't right next to the storage barn and could race there to get the food that was deposited and race back to their house, died. If you didn't live right next to the storage barn, you died. The further you are from the storage barn has a direct correlation as to whether you will survive the great food shortage of Early Winter 4. Anyway, we will remember their sacrifice, but not for too long, because we've got work to get back onto. They're going to have to finish off this dock. It's ready to finish, so there we are. Look at all this housing I freed up, though. I mean, you don't see that every day. You don't get that sort of management from most governments, alright? People are still having children, even after they literally just watched children, students, adults all starve to death. They're like, yes, I feel positive enough about our current situation to keep popping out children. I have not built the prerequisites for nomads to show up, so what we have is what we've got. Yes. A fisherman and their child. You can see all of the males in the family have died. A truly tragic story for that family, really. Totally avoidable. If it was somebody who wasn't me. But given that I was in charge, it was absolutely not avoidable. It was bound to happen. 2 builders? Really? 1 woodcutter. Let's get the firewood back up at least. The least we can do for these poor villagers is to give them some firewood, so they aren't starving in the cold. Are there no poorhouses? No, there's not. So far, what I'm kind of showing is that there we go, another child dying of starvation. Got to be proud of that result. And another child being born. So, you know, was there really a loss? I wonder if the fishermen have gone off to do things that aren't fishing. I'm a bit confused about the problem here. I don't need to build it anymore. Yeah, we got the fishing thing, so it is very confusing as to why they're still dropping. So the thing to notice here is that all of these are boxes of fish, so it's actually legit food. And yet they still starve, where you and I both know that there is a ton of food if they just walk to the fishing stop and carried it in, so... It's funny how they're not making any positive gain though. That's the part that's bothering me a little bit. You would think with this few citizens, there's only 10 citizens, right? You would think with this few, they're still able to have children, which is a good sign. You would suspect with this few citizenry that there would be plenty of food. So why isn't there? So they're not using the road at all. It's not the end of the world. I can just make the road come through the trees out here. That'll be fine. House. Just gotta be a bit careful right now. Okay, I do have a male. Got an older male. He'll be too old by the time the other one's good, but we've got another male there. So as long as they keep up, I should be fine. Alright, so what I do is I turn the work off on this fishing dock, and then hopefully that forces these docks to work full speed ahead. Yeah? No clothing, so... no workers available? Yeah, because I've got 8 adults, 3 children. Still got food problems, somehow. We've got a fisherman dying of starvation down there. It's like, just eat the catch, bro. Was he the fisherman that turns it all around, though? Was he the fisherman that finally tips the scales so that 7 fishermen can feed 7 fishermen? Look, I don't question the mathematics here, alright? I just play the game. Karen, a lot relies on you, bud. I need you around for when the time for repopulating comes around. Still not making a positive contribution on food though, and that is really confusing. There's 11 people. How is food a problem? Guys, 11 people all up, and there are 7 fishermen. We basically have like 75%. Wait a second, how does the maths work? It's not 75, is it? It's lower. It's like 65% of the well, the entire adult population is involved in food production, so it confuses me how they're not getting this right. I mean, we've got over here a house which is complaining that it has no food. Is that the wrong house? Because I feel like that house has plenty of food. Yet that house has none. How does it get food? There we go, something happened and it no longer wants food, but I didn't see the food go up. It did. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're turning it around, I would say they're certainly not turning it around. The thing everything went swimmingly there for a bit. And then all of a sudden, wham! Right, we're going to turn that worker off and punch those down to just 4. Let's see if we have just 4 of the people involved in food production. Does that help me or hinder me? Well, we're positive. Are they going out here to collect stone or something because I selected a whole bunch of stuff out here earlier? Oh, they're taking the trees down. Okay. Well, why don't I put another woodcutter on duty? Because every time I assign a woodcutter, somebody dies. So, let's see if that holds true this time. Teacher. Might as well have educated people die of starvation, you know what I'm saying? How well is this working? Not very well. Not very well. Going to be honest with myself here, because this hasn't been a fantastic showing. But I can cancel the removal here. So I might as well get that sorted so they can just focus really on food. Because I still have 0. Like, can't help but notice I have 0 food. That will come back to bite me. I am under no illusions about how much that will come back to bite me. If I push this down to be 2 workers, 1 worker. So that'll have 4, and then this will have 1. Does that help me with the food? We've got 9 food sitting there, back to 0. 9 did sit there for a minute though. No, we've got a house down here that's about to starve. Halisa is about to pass on and kick the bucket from a lack of food. Probably shouldn't have moved him there, to be dead honest with you. Can you move up to a better house? Like somewhere a bit closer. No, that's not where I wanted to go either. Where have you got? Down the end. Okay. Lisa, we're gonna find you a home. If I have no builders, I do have no builders, so I can leave those houses like that. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to force people to move up to the other end. Now Halisa, was they? I think they were a female, as is Gustus, but Halisa's moved in there. Where's Gustus? Oh, Gustus moved in with the other family. How wonderful. Now this family is lacking on the food front, which is a real shame, real shame. I'd love to help them with that, but well, you know how it is. Here's that they got their food. Alright, what does it cost me to build a town hall? Because I'm keen to see what this, like, what it tells me is their usage. Log, stone and iron? Crikey, how do I get the iron again? I could use a refinery, but that's a lot to invest just to get some freaking iron. I think I have to. Alright, well, I guess we put the foundry down. I'm just gonna put it there. They can whinge all they want. What? Yeah, so that one, the foundry requires... Yep, that worked. Log, stone and lumber. Okay. I can swap this production around to lumber for a bit. Oh, okay, cool. So the school is operating. No food though. It's got 10 lumber. How much lumber did I need? 18. Okay. Just keep an eye on that, so I can swap back to firewood again, because we've run out of firewood. Because of course we've run out of firewood. There we go, we got some lumber, so now we can swap back to the firewoods. Good. I'm just going to open up that house in case population can improve, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be a thing. We've just had Karen, the guy I pinned all my hopes on, die of starvation, so not looking good. Alright, let's evaluate where we got to with this. I still kind of want the town hall, but I don't have the iron for it. I got 40, I don't need to make another 48, but to get those 8, I need to have the lumber and stone and the log, which I can get. In fact, the log I would already have. The stone I already have. The lumber I already have. Then I need to be able to get the time to turn the iron ore into iron to then supply to the town hall to build that, just to see how far behind I am on food production. Maybe I'll do it and see how far I'm losing by. Alright, let's have a look at my population. What are you all doing out here? Teacher, I've discovered there's no benefit to you. Fisherman, I think there's just a problem with how we fish. So I'm going to turn this one off again. We have a labourer. Or we just had another child die of starvation. That's no good. Whoop. Just got to be a bit careful here. So there should only be these 2. 5 and 4. And this guy, 5, 4 and 2 is 11. Okay, that makes sense. Gotta watch out for the food still. A child dying of starvation. Unfortunately, I mean, with that sort of thing, the population just won't last. Pause this. Get you to work on the forge instead. Yeah, they might be doing it. A tornado has touched down near the town. Is that the sign that I think? Where did it go? Because of all the water, it may have just disappeared. it's not active anymore. Normally you can tell because there'll be a clear line through the trees. It may have just touched down literally on water and disappeared. So we've got another labourer. Forge is being built. Okay, that's nice. The builder just died. Not entirely sure what I expected, but not that. Do we have any fishermen? Yeah, we still got 4 of them. 4 of them who are still... Well, hang on. Let's have a look. What is it pumping out every season? So it still pumped out 770 last season. It's just they're eating too much. Might be a bit of stress eating going on. So I'll unpause that again. Ah, the old 124 stone's going to be a real corker. Alright. Furnace fuel. Blimey. Well, out you come from there then. You need furnace fuel now. Easy to get, but I was not expecting to need it. Wood, 30 stone. Alright, I'll go with small fuel refinery because I won't be needing it too much. Yeah, just put it over here. Cool. I'm amazed that the fishermen can't turn this around. As in, they can't go positive. Need to work out what's going on the food side of things, but what's going on with the builder? Pause that. I think, while I would like to know how much we're producing, I can literally see how much we're producing. 771, well 813 this season. So even if we sort of took an average between the two and said, okay, it's about 800 per season, with 4 fishermen on the job. 800. Well, it's 100 per. We aren't starving anymore, but we do see the icon pop up, so we're certainly not progressing very quickly on the food. It's possibly a factor of clothing, possibly a factor of happiness, possibly a factor of education now. There's a lot of factors that might be really making this not unrecoverable, but so tedious to recover that there wouldn't be a lot of joy in it, and I don't think it'd be worth trying to watch it happen. A bit like the End Zone game. I did turn it around in the end, but you know, it was like 8 hours later, and it was a pretty, like, how do you put it? It was just 8 hours of micromanagement to the point of like back-to-back decrees and stuff like that, and a lot of deaths, really. That's basically what it was. I think they're going to have to collect stone and stuff. So yeah, it can probably be done, but I don't know how you would do it, because it appears that you can't bring in the fish quickly enough. You can't fish it up quickly enough. $900 per, and to survive winter, there is a number. It's either 100 or 250 or something like that, and you want to have that on hand for every person. And obviously, when I've got, I don't know, 7 people, there's a labourer in there now. Labourer died of starvation. So yeah, I think I'll call this particular fish village a no-go, which replicates mostly my previous fishing village, where I used the flattened terrain tool, flattened out a whole area and put like a whole bunch of fishing things as close as I could next to each other, then ran like a road down, and then I had houses with roads going through the houses to warehouses. Everybody still died. I did get a little bit further in that than I did in here, but my assumption would be don't try and build a fishing only map without a very, very detailed plan of how you're going to make that work. Or don't be me, or play like me. That could be also another thing you could do that might make you a bit more successful. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching this. It was fun, but it was not ultimately successful. If you make yourself a Banished fishing village and upload it to YouTube, do let me know. I'd like to watch that happen. I'd like to watch it in 10 times speed, because, geez, the slower speeds, they're cool and all, but it's just a bit tedious. Excellent. Alright, well, I will see you in a future video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you around.